Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Imagine an Angular application that runs smoother, loads faster, and feels more responsive than ever before. That's the power of making informed architectural decisions. In this video, we're not just talking theory, we're running real-world performance tests to settle the debate: Angular Signals versus RxJS. Discover which paradigm will unlock peak performance for your projects and how to leverage them effectively to build cutting-edge Angular applications. So, why is Angular's reactive landscape more complex than ever? For years, if you said reactive programming in Angular, you immediately thought RxJS, and for good reason. It's been the go-to powerhouse for managing asynchronous data, handling events, and building complex data flows. It's been the king, the undisputed champion. But then, a new challenger appeared, Angular Signals, and it's shaking things up. Is it a replacement, a competitor, or something entirely different that complements RxJS? That's what we're here to figure out today. Let's dive into RxJS first. At its core, RxJS is all about observables. Think of an observable like a stream of data that can emit multiple values over time. You subscribe to this stream, and whenever a new value comes out, your code reacts to it. It's incredibly powerful because of its operators. We have operators like map to transform data, filter to pick out what you need, debounce time to wait a bit before acting, and so many more. This allows for incredible composability. You can chain these operators together like building blocks to create really sophisticated data pipelines. Let's say you have a search bar. You don't want to hit your server every single time someone types a letter, right? That would be a ton of unnecessary requests. Here's how you'd typically handle that with RxJS in an Angular component. Here, search terms is an RxJS subject that emits values whenever the user types. We pipe that stream through debounce time to wait for a pause in typing, distinct until changed to avoid searching for the same term repeatedly, and switch map to automatically cancel any previous search requests if the user types again. Finally, we subscribe to display the results. This handles error management, retries, and even cancels previous requests if the user types something new. That's a huge win for user experience and server load. RxJS truly shines in these large-scale asynchronous scenarios where you need robust error handling and complex data orchestration. Now, let's talk about the new kid on the block, Angular Signals. Signals are a much simpler concept. Think of a signal as a value that tells Angular exactly when it changes. It's a granular reactivity system. When a signal's value updates, only the specific parts of your application that depend on that signal re-render. Not the whole component, just the affected bits. This is a game changer for performance. Imagine you have a simple counter in your app. With Signals, you declare a count signal. When you click an increment button, you update the count signal. Angular knows exactly which div or span in your template depends on that count signal, and only that specific element gets updated. There's no complex subscription management, no async pipe, just a direct value that Angular reactively tracks. This offers a much simpler mental model and often less boilerplate code. Signals are incredibly efficient for fine-grained UI updates and local component state management. Here's what a simple counter looks like with Signals. Notice a few key things here. Signal 0 creates our reactive value. To get its current value, we call it like a function, count. To change it, we use update or set. And for derived state, like isEven, we use computed, which automatically reevaluates only when count changes. It's incredibly concise and tells Angular exactly what to re-render, leading to fantastic performance for these local synchronous updates. All right, enough talk about what they are. Let's get to the main event, the Performance Gauntlet. We've set up the ultimate comparison. Identical scenarios, same UI, but one component uses RxJS for its state management and the other uses Angular Signals. We're going to build a list of 10,000 items, each with a toggleable status. Updating one item will trigger a re-render. We'll track memory, CPU, and rendering times. Okay, so here we have our two identical components, scaled up to 10,000 items. Now, let's start toggling these items rapidly. As you can see, when we're updating a single item in the RxJS version, there's a certain overhead. The change detection might be running for the whole component tree, or a larger chunk of it, because the RxJS subscription might trigger a broader check. Now, look at the Signals version. When we toggle an item, the updates are incredibly localized. The CPU usage is noticeably lower, and the rendering times for individual updates are significantly faster. This isn't to say RxJS is bad. It's just that for these specific, highly granular UI updates, Signals provide a direct, optimized path. The difference becomes stark when you have many small, independent updates happening across your application, because Signals ensure that. So, what does all this mean for your projects? It's not about choosing one and abandoning the other. It's about making strategic decisions. Use Angular Signals for local component state, simple counters, toggles, form field values, fine-grained UI updates, when only a small part of your template needs to react to a change. Derived state, when one piece of data depends directly on another Signals value. Simplicity, for smaller, more straightforward reactive needs. Stick with RxJS for asynchronous data flows, HTTP requests, WebSockets, real-time data, complex event handling, drag and drop, advanced user interactions, debouncing, like our search example, data orchestration, combining multiple data sources, error handling, retries, cancellation, large-scale state management, when you need a powerful, declarative way to manage complex data streams across your application. The truth is, the future of Angular is a hybrid approach. You'll likely use both. Signals can manage the granular UI state within a component, while RxJS handles the heavy lifting of fetching data, transforming it, and reacting to global application events. Angular Signals and RxJS aren't enemies. They're powerful allies in your development toolkit. Understanding their strengths allows you to build more performant, more robust, and more maintainable Angular applications. The Angular team is continuously evolving both of these paradigms, and seeing how they integrate and complement each other in future releases will be incredibly exciting. So, what are your thoughts? Have you started playing with Signals yet? Let me know in the comments below which one you find yourself reaching for more often. If you found this performance showdown insightful, please give this video a big thumbs up. Share it with your fellow Angular developers, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into cutting-edge web development. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.